Okay, so it's 12:30, so let's begin. How to grow your business successfully. And as we know today, we're really zeroing in on a trusted business advisor. Why should you have one? What will it do for you and your business? How will you work with that person? What will they bring to the table to help you? So these and more is what we're going to talk about today. So we have a few housekeeping items that we'd like to share initially. So if you would like to post your questions, as you know, we're here to answer your questions live. So if you'd like to post your questions to the Q&A panel in Zoom, that will be helpful for us. And if you'd like to use the chat box for any other comments, if you set the settings there on your chat box to all attendees and panelists, before you make your comments, that will allow all of us to benefit from your thoughtful remarks. So a couple of housekeeping tips. And now let's get underway and enjoy our webinar. If you've been with us before, you understand that I'm joined by Leanne Ballard. The two of us working together are going to share with you the topic and the material for today's webinar. So what do Leanne and I, what role do we have in helping our clients? So the skill set that I bring is that I'm a chartered professional accountant. I've worked with a number of years coaching and assisting small business owners to get to where they want their business to be. It's a journey, as we'll see, and I've worked with a variety of small business owners in a variety of industries at different stages of growth, helping them grow a successful and profitable business. And as part of our focus, we've come up with this mission statement that we try to live by. If you're joining us, you're likely a hardworking entrepreneur, small business owner. You're from Canada, no doubt, and you're interested in growing a business successfully and profitably because you started your business for a reason. You wanted to have more time and money for yourself and your family, a better quality of life. So that's the overarching objective of our webinars, is to help you succeed, achieve the vision you have for your business. So that's our mission statement. And so one of the ways we prove that that's our mission statement is we put together a valuable ebook. If you haven't already done so, we invite you to download it after our webinar today, because you're going to find key concrete steps that you can take right away to start fast tracking the growth of your small business, to grow it successfully, profitably. So if you haven't already downloaded it, at the end of our webinar, please do so. If you have questions on the content of that book, please reach out to us and we'd be happy to chat with you. And as I mentioned, I'm joined by Leanne Ballard. So Leanne, would you like to introduce yourself and your team?
Yes, thank you, David. So yeah, my name is Leanne Ballard and I am the operations leader at Cloud Business Services. We are a team of 3 women who are really focused on working with our clients and the idea of being there for our clients to help them with all the processes and the day-to-day keeping of their books and other business processes. So we were Intuit's Global Firm of the Future, and our main goal is that client service. So that's a little bit about who we are.
Thank you, Leanne, for sharing that. And so Leanne's team and the team that I'm with, we really realized we had a similar mission, a similar goal. And so we formed a strategic partnership. And so our 2 teams work together to help you to achieve the vision you have for your business. So why did our 2 teams decide to create and present these webinars? As we mentioned briefly earlier, really building and growing a successful business is a journey. And success really has three main points to it, what we feel are factors for success. Knowing a clear objective, having a destination. When you think of a journey, you clearly want to know where you're trying to get to. What's also helpful is if you have a map, a pathway clearly laid out, so you know what steps to take, what route to take. And third, it's very helpful if you have an experienced guide, someone who's traveled that journey before, who can share with you additional information that will assist you to be successful as you use that map to reach your destination. And so we feel that just like a little journey, your business growing and starting it is a journey as well. And so do you have that destination clear in mind? Do you know what the ultimate vision, the ultimate outcome you want to have for your business, for you and your family? What are you hoping to achieve? Then do you have a map? Do you have a series of steps to plan your route from where you are now to where you want to get to? And third, do you have someone who can help you understand those steps, that sequence of steps, that path, that can help you understand the map, help you on the journey? Well, this experienced guide we would suggest to you is the two teams that are represented on this webinar, Leanne's team and our team, working together, helping you achieve what you're looking for in your business. So today we're going to talk about one of the most important pieces, one of the most important steps on that journey. A step that can really catapult you forward, springboard you forward, have one of the greatest impacts on growing your business, the most profitable and the most successfully, the quickest. And that is working with a trusted business advisor. So we're going to help you understand how you can select that person or team, how that advisor can help you understand where you are in your business right now, and how that business advisor that you trust can help you take you to where you want your business to be. And of course, we're looking forward to answering your questions live. So please provide them as you think of them in the Q&A section there on Zoom. So let's get started. So if you're a small business owner, you've likely realized that you know a lot about your industry. But you may be also realized that there's parts of starting and running and growing a small business that perhaps you don't have knowledge or experience in. That's where a trusted business advisor comes in. So how will you select a trusted business advisor? Well, there's a quote that we like. If you want your journey to be successful, choose the right guide. So you're looking for a quality advisor, a knowledgeable, experienced advisor who's focused on helping someone like yourself grow and start your business successfully. So what are your choices? Well, if you're a small business owner, there are advisors that you typically have interacted with. So you likely have an accountant, or we suggest you get an accountant if you don't already have one. You've likely worked with a lawyer to some degree, perhaps setting up your corporation. You've likely worked with a banker to get your business account set up, maybe some limited financing in place. And then the profits of your business that you're investing in your corporation, you've likely worked to some degree with an investment advisor, or maybe you have a personal investment advisor that has been sharing some tips with you. So those are, generally speaking, the typical advisors that a small business owner typically has interacted with over their journey of their business. So which ones of those might you select as your trusted business advisor, your go-to person, that financial and business sounding board that can help you? So as you reflect on who you're going to select, who of those advisors that we just mentioned as your options is in the best position to help you really understand the numbers of your business, that financial information? Who really understands how your business functions, how it operates, how all the pieces fit together? And who of those options that we mentioned on our previous slide really understands the goals you have for your business and the goals you have for your family, how they fit together? And because tax is such a big piece of the decisions you make, who really understands the tax effects, the implications of the decisions that you make? We would suggest that of those options we mentioned earlier, it's your chartered professional accountant. We feel the accountant is in the best position. They're the numbers experts that can help you. Now, we feel that there is another key piece to creating a success formula for you. In addition to having a chartered professional accountant, we feel a fundamental key player in your success is to add to that chartered professional accountant a professional bookkeeper or team. So Leanne, how will a professional bookkeeper help working with a chartered professional accountant so that the small business owner succeeds?
Yes, thank you, David. So yeah, from our side of this advisor equation, the idea is that you have this highly skilled individual who is focused on the details of the day-to-day happenings within your company. We also, as an industry, I would say a lot of bookkeepers are very forward thinking. We've adapted into the cloud. We adapt into the technology. We can help introduce you to the type of technology that's out there and make sure that you're looking ahead for your business. And remembering that these advisors, whether it be your bookkeeper or your accountant, are small business owners ourselves. So we deal with the same day-to-day challenges that you do in a different industry, in a different kind of way, but still the same day-to-day challenges. As our practice is an expert in processes, we can help you with day-to-day operations. We can help you set up the systems and the apps that are going to benefit you. And we can help you with managing the people on your team and even outside of your company if there's certain regular partnerships that you have with suppliers or customers and that sort of thing. So the idea here is that collaborative team approach that I know David has mentioned several times. It's collaborative between us and our clients, and it's collaborative between us and other professionals who are also advising you.
Very good. So this is our first opportunity during our webinar today to respond to any questions that you have as attendees of our webinar today. So Leanne, what questions might we have?
Yeah, so I have just one question. I think it's a good one here. It was submitted and it's, are there any questions you recommend asking before choosing a professional? So what can they be asking as they are trying to decide who they want to work with as a professional?
Very good. So you would want to be asking, for example, if we take the component of the chartered professional accountant, the questions you'd ask that accountant or firm is you'd want to find out, are they really focused on businesses that will nicely align with the needs you have? So sometimes a business owner might have a chartered professional accountant that they see once a year. It's tax time, it's year-end time, it's time to put the numbers together because they need to be put together. So is your accountant have that profile? Is that really the skill set they have and that they provide to you? Or are they in a position to do more for you? Are they able to advise you on your business? Not only see what your business has done in filing what's needed with CRA and putting your financial statements and tax returns together, but do they help you to look forward? Do they help you to see ways in which you can grow your business successfully and profitably? Are they willing to work with you monthly to give you the level of coaching and support that you would like from your trusted business advisor? So those are some of the questions that we would suggest you start with. And if you'd like to give us a call, we can even share other questions that you might consider if we know a little bit more about your particular business. And Leanne, would you have anything to add to that?
My goodness, no, you covered so much there. I don't know that I have anything else off the top of my head, but that's perfect, David. That answers that question for us.
One thing I might add is that with your professional bookkeeper, or if your chartered professional accountant works with a professional bookkeeper and team, that would be also a good question to ask. And then whether that professional bookkeeping team can provide you with knowledgeable in the area of apps to put the type of system together that you would need for your business. So those are some other supplemental questions you could ask.
That's a good point, David. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, very good. So we'll move into our second section now of our webinar. So how does a trusted business advisor, once you've selected that individual or team, how do they help you understand where your business is right now? Because as you know, in any journey, you want to know your destination, but then the next question is, where are you currently, right? You need to know the answers to those two questions to plan your route, to plan your path. So once you clearly have articulated with your trusted business advisor where you want to take your business, the trusted business advisor will say, okay, well, where are you now? And that's really where you want to start, right? Planning your route, where are you now? So you want to have current information. So your trusted business advisor or team can ensure that you have a system that's creating for you information to help you make decisions. You really want to have your finger on the pulse of your business, wouldn't you agree? You don't want to be in the dark or just kind of winging it, or you have a gut feel as to how your business is doing. You really would like to know. And so having full management reports will provide that to you. And so you'll be able to see at a glance how your business is doing. Because with this reports, you'll be also able to see not only the profit for a particular period, such as a month or a quarter, but then you can have a series of reports that help you to see trends. Is your business going in the right direction? For example, is your revenue going up? What is the trend of your costs? If revenue is going down and costs are going up, that would be a concern, wouldn't it? You wouldn't want to wait till the end of the year to find out about that. You'd want to know right away what trends are positive, what trends would you like to improve. You'd also like to know at a moment's notice what customers owe you what amounts. Are they paying you on time? Are there any follow-up or collection improvements that you can make? But you won't know what improvements to make if you don't know what customers owe you money and how much and since when. It's also important for you to know who your business owes, the suppliers. What are the terms your suppliers are giving you? Can you see at a glance easily what your payables are? And you really need to know your revenue numbers and your cost numbers. You need to understand the customers that owe you money. You really need to understand what suppliers you owe, to then be able to understand your cash flow. You need to be able to understand, because cash flow is really the heart of the business. You really need to know, do you have enough cash now in the near term? And if this trend continues into the future, will you continue to be building up cash, or will you slowly be running out of cash? So again, this reports that a trusted business advisor can make sure you have in your system are invaluable. And so not only can you be given this information, but you can have it in real time. When your information is in the cloud, you can have a financial dashboard. You can see at a glance where you stand. And this dashboard can be connected to other parts of your system. So what other parts could be connected to the financial dashboard, Leanne?
Yeah, so the idea of kind of all that you said is there's a lot of elements of the business that we can help you keep an eye on. And so when we're looking at kind of creating an ecosystem for the business, we are going to analyze the systems you currently have in place. So it does kind of outlay it here, but AR, accounts receivable. So our goal for our clients is always to get them down to an accounts receivable 0, right? We want that money in our client's bank for their cash flow. So we're going to figure out a system that is going to help automate that for our clients. We don't want them having to chase down and make collections calls. We want that money to be flowing nice and smooth and into their business for them. Receipt management, the paperwork. Nobody wants to deal with the paperwork, right? So we're going to set up systems that are going to help, again, organize that, streamline it, make it simple. Imagine just picking up your phone, snapping a picture of a receipt and being done with it and not having to touch it again. That's what we want to do for our clients. And HR, hiring and, management of employees is a huge time-consuming task for our clients. And again, we want to analyze how they're handling that intake. And it is something that, being able to hire a professional to take care of your payroll can be a huge weight off your shoulders, because there's so much to managing a team, not just in the day-to-day and the delegation and the task aspect, but in making sure that you have all of the proper paperwork, that you're compliant, that payroll happens on time. These are all really important tasks that we can help our small businesses with. And there's more, but this just gives some really clear examples of some of the larger systems, that you want to analyze where you are now so that you can, again, put those systems into place and streamline them down the road.
Very good. And what's nice about this system, Leanne, is that it can be set up in the cloud so that there's 24/7 access, right, for a small business owner to answer different questions they might have.
Absolutely. And that's the big part of the way really all industries are moving into the cloud and adapting this technology. It is making our lives easier and allowing our small business owners to be able to focus on what they do best, right? And focus within their business.
Absolutely. Very good. So this brings us to a second section now of our webinar. What we've shared with you about understanding where your business is right now, what systems, what tools, the knowledge and expertise a trusted business advisor can bring to help you understand where your business is right now. Do we have any questions on this particular topic, Leanne, please?
Yes, I have one question for this section, and it's how often should I be meeting with my advisor to review all of this? So David, what are your thoughts with the regular meetings on where the business is right now?
So we have about 3 different models that work with business owners. Some of them like a quarterly check-in as to how they're doing. Often we find the most common is a monthly check-in. So they like to know where their business is right now, every month, to be able to take a look at their numbers, be assisted to understand the numbers. How do they compare to what they were hoping to achieve? Those monthly calls we find are generally the best. You need that frequency throughout the year to understand at several times in the year, where are you? It's like, we use the illustration sometimes of if you were sailing a ship and there was a compass that helped guide your direction. How frequently would you look at that compass? Once a day? Well, clearly you would conclude that that's not frequently enough. You could be way off course by the end of the day and have to make a major course correction. So it's the same thing with numbers. You really want to take a look at your numbers at least monthly to know where you are. Some even do it more, some do it less, but monthly seems to be most common.
And I imagine, David, it would also depend on where you are in a business to consider, are we in like a really accelerated growth pattern? Because then we really need to keep a closer eye on everything versus, we've been steady for a while. We know what to expect, our costs, our income, it's all good. We can kind of just peek in on that like regular monthly check-in and not have to worry in between.
Yes, so sometimes what we'll suggest is having monthly check-ins with us as the trusted business advisor team, but then we'll help our clients understand how they can access their own data and check in weekly. Particularly if cash flow is a concern or a focus, or there's some other trend, as you mentioned, Leanne, that they're really trying to take particular close attention on, then a more frequent check-in of the numbers would be helpful.
All right, so that's our only question for that.
Okay, very good. So now we'd like to talk about helping you take your business from where it is to where you want it to be. So we've talked about some of the ways a trusted business advisor can help you as a small business owner understand where your business is right now. But now, how do you get to your destination in that business journey that we talked about earlier today? And so there's some other tools and expertise that a trusted business advisor can help you with. And we're going to identify some of them, introduce you to some of them. So one of them is a one-page business plan. Maybe you've heard people talk about the importance of having a business plan, and you kind of shudder because it's this 3-inch book filled with graphs and charts and numbers and language that maybe you've never come across before, you don't understand. You do it because you think the finance or the lender needs it, or that your advisor has suggested you have it, but then it kind of gathers dust and sits on the shelf. Instead, we're talking about a lean business plan, one page. It focuses very clearly on who you serve, how do you serve them, key resources, staffing, suppliers. It puts in a nutshell what you're trying to achieve with your business. So one-page business plan, we help many small business owners with that. Another tool that's very important, a one-year sales forecast. How are you going to attract customers and drive revenue? So how many customers are you expecting? How can you realistically come up with that number? Because that's the start of everything, isn't it, in your business? Having customers that want to buy your product or service. So what does that revenue target look like over the year? And it's good to divide it up into 12 months so that you can manage your cash flow. You know what's coming in, what's going out. Then after you do the sales forecast, then you want to do the other pieces, a full financial forecast, because that includes your cash flow, who owes you money, who you owe money to, the costs. It puts it all together for you. So you want to have a full financial forecast so you can predict your cash flow, which again, as we said, is the lifeblood of your business, at least 12 months out. Then another benefit of working with trusted business advisors, you can meet. Here you see a real person meeting. Right now, a lot of our small business owners love having Zoom meetings, virtual meetings, perhaps outside of the 9 to 5 routine, when they can calmly, clearly focus on how their business is doing, rather than dealing with many balls in the air during a typical workday. And so having regular business review meetings, what's working? What would you like to improve? How does the data show that? What are some solutions to the challenges you're facing? And then having a monthly business coaching. So your trusted business advisors should not just be looking at financial numbers. Really, for the full experience, the full benefit of a trusted business advisor is you want someone who looks at your complete business. So having monthly business coaching, looking at your business as a whole, your marketing, your operations, your human resources, your financial, all together, that's so valuable. Perhaps time management is something you need assistance with. Setting priorities. All of these are topics that you can benefit from during a monthly business coaching call with a true trusted business advisor who looks at your business holistically. And then to get your business to where you want it to be, there may be systems you need. So Leanne, what might be some of those systems and those options that need to be added to the current business owner's tech stack?
Yeah, so we're revisiting the same categories as before. We've got, your accounts receivable, your receipt management, and your human resources. But in this case, the big focus has to be on where are you going? So often what we do first is we have to get control over these things, get control over the accounts receivable, make sure we're slowing down on the collections calls and that more money is coming into the business, as an example. But when we look ahead, what we have to think about is how do we put in a process that's going to scale with you as a small business owner, right? Like the whole idea is to get bigger and better. And what you don't want to do is have to just gain control now and then reinvent the wheel again in a year. You want to make sure that whatever system and process you're putting in is going to fit with where your business is heading in the future, how big your growth is going to be, how fast your growth is going to be. All of that needs to be considered into the systems and the processes that you set up. So that's a big part of what we do. And then working on the workflows and the templates and the apps that are going to do that for you. And a big rule of thumb is, remember, anything that you're going to do more than once, you want to, in some way, shape, or form, automate, template, make it easy on yourself so that those repeated tasks flow really smoothly for you.
And I understand, Leanne, that there are apps that will provide you with a workflow. There are apps and software that can create templates for you, and they can be used by more than one member of a team. Isn't that right?
That's very true. There are apps that will do all of that for you. And a big part of that, though, is I know a lot of small businesses fall into the category of like the shiny app syndrome, where it's the next, great thing. There are always going to be multiple apps that do similar tasks or workflows or whatever the process happens to be. The key here is if you have someone who knows the different apps and knows their pros and con features, then you're going to be able to connect with the right one from the beginning, because a lot of time and money can be spent in testing something out and finding that it doesn't have all the features you want, or it doesn't do one thing, or it just doesn't work with your systems, or even the way you think, because different apps are developed in different ways that, the way you think can come into play. So definitely this is where your advisor comes in to help you. And, if they are familiar with those apps, I know you pointed that out, when we talked about finding a bookkeeper and questions to ask. David, you mentioned about asking if your bookkeeper is, familiar with setting up the processes and the apps and the workflows. That's huge, because someone who actually already knows what's out there and what might fit into your flow is going to save you time and money in the long run.
Absolutely. Very good. Thank you for sharing that. So this is our final opportunity for any final questions on this topic of anything we've talked about today, how a trusted business advisor can help you, how they work with you, how they can do some of these things that we've introduced you to, how a small business advisor, trusted business advisor, can help take your business to the next level. So do we have any questions at this time?
Yes. So what I have here, I've got two questions here, David, to finish us off for the day. The first one is all about setting a business up for sale. So it says, can, my business advisor help me with how to set my business up properly for future sales? So David, I know that's something that you can speak to.
Yes. So that's a very powerful question and has a lot of pieces to it. So when it involves the question of setting up your business for future sales, there's different pieces that I would say answer that question. So do you have the right management team in place? What are their skill sets? How can a trusted business advisor complement the skill sets that you already have as a small business owner, so that you, along with your small business trusted business advisor, can be that dynamic team that can work together every month, like a partnership, to help you grow your business. So we would say that's important. We talked about systems today. That's important. Do you have the right systems to allow you to scale for future sales? What marketing are you doing? Are you attracting the right type of client? Are those that you're attracting now your ideal clients? Have you thought about what your ideal client is? So those would be some of the topics that a trusted business advisor would talk with you about, and that you as a small business owner should be thinking about. What is the end in mind? So do you have a vision for your business? Is it clearly articulated? That's important, because then you know what you're working towards. So those are some of the pieces, and we could share more if you'd like to connect with us after our webinar. Is there something you'd like to add, Leanne?
No, I think that's all really important. And I will kind of just say, as you were saying, all the different things that need to be considered, a lot of that's going to be covered in our webinar series throughout the year. So stay tuned for more on all of those things. But
good point. Good point.
I do have one final question here, David, and it's about, so it says, I'm not working with an accountant now, I am working with an accountant now, but I'm not getting this kind of advice. How do I get what you're talking about?
Okay, very good. So accountants that provide services to the public have a variety of different specialties or niches. Some may focus on what needs to be filed to be compliant with the income tax requirements. So that would involve doing annual financial statements, corporate tax returns, and personal tax returns. And we know a great number that provide those services very valuably, very effectively. The question that we would ask you as a small business owner is, if you're not currently getting advice and expertise and knowledge to help you grow your business and help you look to the future for your business, you have a couple of opportunities. First is, you can speak with your existing accountant. Let your accountant know that this is what you're looking for. You want to have a lot of these things that you've heard introduced on our webinar today. And you can ask your accountant if they're prepared to assist you with that. Some may be willing to assist you with it, and that's great. If some are not willing to assist you with that, then we invite you to connect with us to see how we can help you. And as we mentioned, Leanne and I, as a team, can assist you with what your options might be. Some accountants prefer to focus on the annual work, and that is their niche, that is their specialty. And so there may be a time where you will need to consider, if you mention these needs to your chartered professional accountant and they currently do not offer those services, you can ask them, is there someone they could refer you to? Or you could speak to our firm and we could talk about how those options could be made available to you. So those are some thoughts as to, it may be that you've just not asked about these services, or it may be not an area your current chart accountant focuses on. And so we could talk about ways we could help you as well.
Very good. I think that's all of our questions for today, David.
Well, that's great. Thank you, Leanne, for fielding those questions and sharing that information with us. We'd like to thank all of you for joining our webinar today. We would like you to know that if you would like to accelerate the growth of your business successfully, then we'd like you to ask about a business boot camp that we are preparing to launch. It really is a business accelerator program. Leanne mentioned that over the next year, we're going to be introducing topics that will help you as a small business owner. And it will, these monthly webinars will certainly help you understand some of the key steps you should be thinking about. But if you want to grow your business fast, if you wanted to grow it in a quicker, more efficient way to get to the next level earlier, then we really invite you to inquire about our Business Accelerator program, because we're going to take a much deeper dive and we're going to coach you to be able to implement a lot of these topics that we're introducing you to in these webinars. And it's certainly perfect if you are a small business owner and you're at the management level, or you make decisions. Maybe there's some key employees that you'd like to have part of this program. We welcome your inquiries. So when you finish the webinar today, you'll receive a survey, and there will be an opportunity for you to say that you'd like more information about this business boot camp. And we're hearing some very exciting results from business owners that have been going through this program. And we'd like to introduce you to more information on it. So if you complete the survey and ask for it, we'll be delighted to share more information with you. And so, like with all of our webinars, you'll receive a follow-up email soon after our webinar today. We invite you to download the ebook. Start taking advantage, start reading some of the key steps that you can implement right away to help you grow your business successfully. We invite you to join our Facebook group, where you can be with other like-minded small business owners that want to grow a successful business. You can collaborate with them, and we will also comment on the questions and challenges that small business owners are having. We invite you to book a free discovery call on our website, pankwitch.com, or you can, there'll be a link in the email that will invite you to book a free discovery call where we can talk about how we can help you and how our two teams here on this webinar today can take you to the next level. And we invite you to sign up for our next webinar. It'll be on the last Thursday of March. How to grow your business successfully, and very valuable, how a corporation helps you grow faster. We'll be excited to share this topic with you just about 4 weeks away from now. So thank you for joining us today. We hope that the material you've seen today and the comments we've shared will help you on your business journey. Both Leanne and I wish you all success in your business journey. We're optimistic, we're hopeful that you'll move forward with what you've learned today, and we would be happy to talk to you in the future. Is there something you'd like to finally say, Leanne?
No, just have a wonderful weekend, everyone, and we will see you next month.
Excellent. So from Leanne and I, bye for now, and we look forward to talking to you very soon.